Hey everyone, welcome back. This is a different day, but I'm going to continue working on the wiring from the last video. If you saw the last video, at the end I cut into one of the studs. I'll show you it here if you haven't seen the video. So here I cut into that stud because I couldn't see it, because they had notched the stud to put in the old outlet. I'm not sure. Yeah, I didn't cut all the way through it, so I talked to my parents who've done a lot more of this type of work than me. I said, you know, this isn't a load-bearing wall, and it's tied together with other things, so it should be okay. But what I'll have to do is move the box in some and then patch that later. So I'll do that. I'll cut this, fish this last wire. Back up. So I'm gonna cut the new hole, fish that wire through, and then I'm gonna go through and put in the outlet boxes and put the wires in. And we'll see how far I get with that. Boxes should be pretty easy, so it shouldn't take too long. So I think I'll do that. And if I'm feeling good about how it's going, or ambitious, I'm going to try to wire up some of the outlets. So yeah, let's see how far we get, and let's start here. Yeah, so my thought process initially was have an outlet over there, so I didn't want it, you know, too close together. Something my dad mentioned, like I wanted to kind of center the outlet on this wall, to make them kind of uniform, but if this was centered and then that one was sort of in the corner, then they'd be really close together, so it's sort of a waste of an outlet. So that makes a lot of sense. So I'm just gonna continue this over there. Double check that it hasn't dropped a ton. Quite a bit. So like they're 13 3/4. So dropped a 1/4 inch. I feel things turn out better if you at least try to be precise, but whatever. As long as it's close to square, it doesn't have to be exact. So I'm just gonna. And I have this template I traced off of the box, and I put a little dot in the center. So then I just put it center on that, trace the edges. Part of the reason I cut this is there's lath in here, which gives you resistance. So I thought I was cutting just through some lath. Yeah, normally if I was cutting through here, I could feel when it gets through the drywall. Then I would stop if I felt something past it, but in this case, I expected to feel something past it, so I kept going. We got this piece of lath. It used to be on here, but I cut through it, so it's kind of bouncing around. I'm just gonna jam something here to hold it. This is now where the box will go. I think I can push it up and catch it as it comes through. There, okay. So here Here's the electrical box. This is what's called a old work box. So they have old work boxes and new work boxes. The old work boxes is for a case like this where you cut a hole and you want to put the box in. It has these wings that you screw tight and it'll hold it in place. If you're doing new construction, they'll have nails in them. Put it against the stud and hammer the nails in. That's for new construction. And then on the back, you have these tabs that you push and you put the cable through. So let's try that. So these are designed for modern construction. So drywall, just a layer of drywall. So this is the drywall. Put it in like this and then screw it and it clamps to it. For me though, I have lath underneath because this house used to have lath and plaster walls and then just put the drywall on top of it. So with these, this is as far out as it goes, and you might just barely be able to get it on. I might try it, but what I've also done is I found on Amazon these screws in 2.5, so then you can screw it in there and hold onto the lath and plaster. So in this case, this is thin, but in some of the walls there's a different kind of lath. It's lath board, so it's like a board with slits in it, and then that is even thicker than this. It's probably double this, so this one won't work. So I'm gonna try this one in this case because it was like the lath. Let's give that a try. Those tabs are pretty annoying to deal with. They're supposed to try to keep them on because that way if you pull it, it'll keep it clamped in, so if this gets pulled on, it won't pull out of the box. There's one box, 7 more to go. Let's keep going. I'll probably fast forward pretty good without no need to watch the same thing 7 times. Alright, so look in here. Look how deep that wall is. Here's your drywall, and then this is your lath board. So that's like double the thickness of this. So I need something pretty long. that's what this was for. Yeah, it definitely grabbed on. I think it went like this. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. Difference in screws gives me an extra little bit. Only thing that this has is it has a track here. So you'll see this as you screw it in, it'll follow that track. But I'll show you what happens with the new one. Alright, so the new one sticks out past that track, but it will fall this way and screw in like that. So that'll be enough to hold it, since the width is more than this and the walls here. Okay, so let's review what we've done so far. I put a box there, after one there, and one there, used the longer screws to get the hold. New box there, new box there, and new box there. This one is special because it's going to have 3 wires. One's going to be the power going into the box and powering on these switches, or all these lights, and then the other is, so let me see if I can describe it here. So we got one, probably this wire brings power in, and that when you attach it to the outlet will electrify any other wires attached. So this will electrify this wire here, which goes to this side of the room and then stops there. That's why there's one wire. That one wire goes there, in, and then out to this one, out to this one, out to this spool here. And then this wire here goes into the basement under here. Pops up in that box, and then the next wire goes to this, and then out to this, and then that goes down into the basement, across the hall into an outlet playroom. That's how it's set up. So I was concerned as to why we left this uncut. Why? So my dad did 99% of this, and I thought I understood, and I think I understand, but to be sure, give him a call and make sure it's safe to cut that without causing any issues. I think so. I don't know where else that would possibly go, but it's easier to have, it's better to have too much wire than too little, so I'm gonna call him right now. It's almost 12 in the morning, so, or 12 at night. Yeah, 12 at night. So I'm gonna call him, and then, so we'll cut here, and then tomorrow, once I know what's going on, we'll finish this. For this one, since it does have 3 wires, I got this box here. It's a little bit deeper, because we'll be doing, making a lot of connections in there, and we'll have like a pigtail that attaches to the outlet itself. So we just want a nice amount of room to work. course. And I don't have to extend this one because that's just sheetrock. I'll stop here and pick up tomorrow once I've told my dad to make sure what the timing is for that. Okay, so I talked to my dad, and it's been a little while, but yeah, I could cut that wire just fine. And then I got ahead of myself and I did some wiring. Won't use this and do it on and down to this into one. I've gone ahead and wired up these outlets. I just have two left of this one. I figure I will film one of them, and then I think I might film picking up this mess. I don't know, it might be interesting. It sure would make me feel better. So, alright, let's get started. I'll wire that one up, and you'll either see that one or this one, depending on if there's some difference between the two that makes one better than the other, or however I feel. So let's get working on that one. Bend that around. Let me do that. Just grab it. Bend it sort of into the hook. And if so you see the screwdriver here turns this way, like this. You want the hook to go that way, so when it tightens, it pulls the hook in. If you have it this way, it'll sort of unhook the hook as it tightens, rather than you can pull the hook in and tighten it down. So on this side we hook it this way, and on this side it hooks the opposite way. Earth, ground, and neutral here, and then hot on this side. It's also labeled on here, hot wire, white. So I'll do that. Other side, the hot, we have to flip this way instead of this way. Alright, so the last thing that's a little difficult is getting it into the box, so another thing I've been doing is I have to do some drywalling on this. To what level I'm not sure, because I might put mop boards that'll cover some of that. But I've noticed some places the screws are popping through, so any place I'm noticing, I'm digging it out so I don't forget about them. So I got one there, one over here that was poking through, that one was poking through. So let me show you, I'm really excited about the covers. They're the type that don't show any screws. So let's throw one of those on here and we can see what it'll look like all done. So here's the wall plate. It's from Lutron. It's got two pieces to it. It's got a this outside cover and an inside cover that it sits into. This is not like the same brand though. Where is it gonna break it?
Alright, so you got this piece, goes like that. So I haven't really like totally finished making sure it was level or anything like this way. There you go, that's what it'll look like. No screws. Looks pretty good. I don't know if this is sitting in a little bit more than that, so I might toy with it a little, but I think, oh, there we go. Yeah, I'll have to sort of play around with how it sits, but that's essentially what it'll look like. So, it's pretty nice. So yeah, I think that's about it. Next thing I'll do is organize, oh, well, I'll film me picking up in here, but if it's boring, I won't put it in the video. Maybe I won't even put this in the video. And then down cellar, I'm gonna do some wire organization. Again, if it's interesting, it'll be on here. If not, I'll see you next time. Ready?